What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing a branded Red Eyes Black Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because I've been working on this deck a lot recently, and this deck is absolutely insane for all the boss monsters you can summon this deck. From Mirror Jade to Masquerade the Blazing Dragon and even Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, this deck has some insane boss monsters. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name scripted in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Red Eyes Black Dragon. This card is a key combo piece in the entire deck to go into all sorts of different fusion plays and even into a few XZ summons in this deck. This card is an awesome nostalgic boss monster that I absolutely love, and definitely comment down below which one's your favorite between Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician. I then play a single copy of Dark Magician. Speaking of Dark Magician, so we can go into our copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and get 2 pops on that monster, which is a really insane effect to be able to do a little bit of burn damage against the opponent and pop cards on the field. I then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. This card is a great extender for the deck as it has the ability it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by attributing a Red Eyes monster from your hand or field, and you can only special summon this card once per turn this way, which is a great effect to just summon this card to your side of the field by attributing a Red Eyes Black Dragon in your hand and then special summon out this monster to the field. It also has a really neat effect that if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, then you can target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in your graveyard except this card and special summon it. And if you do, and it was a Red Eyes Black Dragon special summoned by this effect, then its original attack becomes double, boosting the Red Eyes Black Dragon up to 4,800, which is absolutely insane. I then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is a really interesting combo piece for the deck because it has the ability that you can target a Red Eyes monster you control and equip this card from your hand or field to that target, and it gains 600 attack points. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, then you can add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to be able to search out your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Now there's a really easy combo in this deck to be able to search out this card by just normal summoning out Black Metal Dragon, linking it away for Striker Dragon, and then searching out your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon will get you straight to your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which then you can banish the Striker Dragon to special summon this out to your field, and then use this card to bring back Black Metal Dragon and then link them for a Hieratic Seal, which will get you an additional search off your copy of Black Metal Dragon while also giving you an additional monster on the field, which is an absolutely insane combo for this deck. This card has the ability that you can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 face-up dragon monster that you control, and then once per turn you can special summon a dragon type monster from your hand or graveyard except another copy of this card, which is a really powerful effect to be able to just use this card as a monster reborn essentially to get you a dragon back out of the grave. Now you can only use this card's effect once per turn, and you can only use the effect of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon's effect once per turn. I then play 2 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. The Black Stone of Legend is an extremely powerful normal summon in the deck because it has the ability you can contribute this card to special summon out a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck, which is usually going to be your copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon. It also has the ability, if this card's in the graveyard, you can target a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster in the graveyard and shuffle it back in the deck, and if you do, add this card back to your hand, but you can only use 1 effect of this card per turn and only once that turn, so you cannot get both of those effects in the same turn. I then play 3 copies of Keeper of Dragon Magic. This card is absolutely insane as a normal summon in the deck, and it's a key combo piece in the deck because it can actually search out Red Eyes Fusion, Polymerization, and even Branded Fusion. It has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can discard 1 card from your hand to add a Polymerization normal spell card or a Fusion normal spell card from your deck to your hand, which is an insanely powerful effect to be able to search out those cards directly from your deck off of this card's normal summon. And it also has the ability you can bring back your copy of Red Eyes or Dark Magician from the graveyard with its other powerful effect. By using its effect, you can reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck and then special summon 1 fusion material whose name is listed specifically on that monster from the graveyard in face down defense position, which is really cool because you can reveal your copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to be able to bring back your copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon or your copy of Dark Magician, back to the field, which is super awesome for this deck. And then play a single copy of Light Pulsar Dragon. Light Pulsar Dragon is a really interesting combo piece in the deck because this card can actually be used to fusion summon a really powerful boss monster in the form of your Meteor Black Comet Dragon, which is absolutely insane. This card also combos extremely well with your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon because they can roll between one another with the ability that your copy of your Light Pulsar Dragon has. Because when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon type monster in the grave and special summon that target, and your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon can bring back this card from the graveyard, which is really nice. So they combo very well together. I then play 2 copies of Aluber. Aluber is just really good because it can search out Branded Fusion, Branded Opening, or Branded Red that we play in this deck. So this card is a really good normal summon, but usually we're summoning this card off of Branded Opening. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can add any branded spell or trap from your deck to your hand. I then play 2 copies of Fallen of Albaz. This card is basically super polymerization with legs, which is absolutely insane. This card is a key combo piece in using it with your copy of Branded Fusion, but it has the ability if it's normal or special summon, then you can discard a card to fusion summon a fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from either player's field as fusion material, including this card, which is really cool. I then play a single copy of the Light Hex Seal Fusion. This card helps us step into a bunch of different fusion monsters, which is why I play this card as a one of in here, but it works really well as well with your copy of Light Pulsar Dragon because it gives you a light target in the deck among all of these dark monsters, which comes in extremely handy. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is just a great extender for the deck to be able to use to bring back a Red Eyes Black Dragon or an extremely powerful fusion monster back from the graveyard. And then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is just really good to stop the opponent from hand trapping us while we're going in for our boss monsters. And then play a single copy of Branded in Red. Branded in Red is really good to search in the deck because it can help us step into some extremely powerful boss monsters, and it has the ability to target a Despian monster or a Fallen of Albaz in the graveyard, add that card back to your hand, and then you can fusion summon a level 8 or higher fusion monster from your X deck by banishing the fusion materials listed on it from your hand or field, but it cannot attack directly. This card is really good to help you fusion summon during your opponent's turn and set it with your copy of Aluber, which is really nice. I then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Insight. Red Eyes Insight is a really good card in the deck, but I feel like 2 copies is totally fine in the deck because we have so many ways to get to our Red Eyes fusion. This card has the ability to send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard to add a Red Eyes spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except another copy of Red Eyes Insight, which is a pretty good effect. I then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Fusion. Red Eyes Fusion is a really good fusion spell that lets you fusion summon a fusion monster that lists a Red Eyes monster as material from your X deck using monsters from your hand or deck or your side of the field as fusion materials. And if you do, its name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon. And you cannot normal summon or special summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, which is a big downside to this card, but it comes in extremely handy to be able to make some really powerful cards. I then play 3 copies of Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion comes in extremely handy in the deck to be able to summon out your copies of Mirror Jade, Lubellion, or even your copy of Albion, which is just really good. This card is just such a powerful card because it lets you fusion summon a fusion monster that mentions a Fallen of Albaz as a material from your X deck using 2 monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion materials. And you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck the turn you activate this card, except fusion monsters, which is the majority of what we're playing in the extra deck anyway, so this card is a great combo piece in the deck that you always want to see in your hand. I then play 3 copies of Branded Opening. Branded Opening is a really powerful card in this deck because you discard any card from your hand to take a copy of Aluber and special summon it to your side of the field, which will then search out your copy of Branded in Red or your copy of Branded Fusion, which is absolutely insane. But this card also has a really good effect that if a fusion monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you manage this card from your graveyard instead, which is an awesome effect to be able to protect your really powerful fusion monsters. I then play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is a great piece in this deck to be able to just draw additional cards because we have so many dark monsters in this deck. This card can really help you get to a key combo piece that you need by just banishing a dark monster after you draw 2 cards. I then play 3 copies of my personal tech in the deck, and we're actually going to play Guess That card. So this is a 3 of in the deck, and you guys are going to comment down below what this card is and guess down there. And if you get it right, I'll give you guys a heart. So without further ado, let's see what it is. And we're going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and comment down below what you think this tech card is. And we're going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. Here it is, and it is 3 copies of Chain Energy. And you guys might be looking at this card and going, what is that? Well, this card is an insane tech card in this deck. This card is basically Flare Metal in the form of a spell card that is continuous. This card has the ability each player must pay 500 life points per card to normal summon, special summon, set, or activate cards from his or her hand. If you use any card from your hand, you have to pay 500 life points, which is absolutely insane, because comboing it with a copy of Masquerade will make it so that your opponent, for every card that they activate or summon, they have to pay 1100 life points with this card. With Flare Metal, they'll be paying 1000 life points per copy, and this card stacks, which is absolutely crazy with this card. This card is a definite 3 of the deck and will really surprise the opponent when you activate this card as the last card in your hand for your combo. So that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing a single trap, and that's going to be a single copy of Return of the Red Eyes. Return of the Red Eyes is a great card in this deck, because if you control a Red Eyes monster, except a copy of Red Eyes B Chick, you can target a normal monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is always going to be your copy of Red Eyes Black Dragon that you're going to be summoning off this card. It also has the ability that if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, then you can target 1 Red Eyes monster in the graveyard and special summon it, and you can only use each effect this card once per turn. So even if your opponent deals with this card, you still get a Red Eyes to your side of the field, which is really cool. But this card is a definite 1 of in the deck because it is a continuous trap card that makes it so you can constantly bring back your Red Eyes to the field. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Mirror Jade. You're only really going to summon this card 1 time in the deck, and you only really need to summon this card 1 time in the deck because it's absolutely insane. It's an extremely powerful boss monster, and it's just a really easy card to summon off of Branded Fusion by first summoning out your copy of Lubellion and using Lubellion's effect. Lubellion is a really good card in this deck because you just have to send Dark Monster plus Fallen of Albaz from your deck to the graveyard with Branded Fusion to summon this card, and it has the ability, if this card is Fusion Summoned, you can discard a card to Fusion Summon a level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, except another copy of this card by shuffling the fusion materials on it back into the deck. From monsters on the field to graveyard or face-up that are banished, which is a really powerful effect because you can use this card to be able to put itself back and a copy of Fallen of Albaz back into the deck to be able to summon out your copy of Mirror Jade. I then play 2 copies of Albion. This card is basically Miracle Fusion, which is really cool because when this card is fusion summoned, then you can fusion summon a level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, except another copy of Albion, by banishing the fusion materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, or graveyard, which is a really good effect to be able to use on this card. Also, the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can, during the end phase, set to your side of the field a branded spell or trap card directly from your deck, which is a really awesome effect, because you can set a copy of, say, Branded in Red, which is a quick play spell, or Branded Opening, which is also a quick play spell to be able to extend your plays during the opponent's turn. I then play a single copy of the Abyss Dragon. Abyss Dragon is just really good because it's basically a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for Fallen of Albaz, which is just absolutely insane, and Dragon Monsters. This card is just really good overall and a fantastic card to out your opponent's board. I then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. This card is so good in the deck. It's a walking negate, it can pop cards on the field, it can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and it's just an overall fantastic boss monster in the deck. It's very easy to summon, and you can actually summon 2 of them in this build. And then play a single copy of Meteor Black Comet Dragon. This card is just too cool not to play in this build. It's super easy to summon because it just requires a level 7 Red Eyes monster plus a level 6 Dragon type monster, which is your Light Pulsar Dragon you're going to be using to summon out this card. And if this card is fusion summoned, you can send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the grave, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that monster, which is usually a Red Eyes Black Dragon you're sending to do 1200 points of damage. And if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, then you can target a normal monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is your Red Eyes Black Dragon you'll be reviving with this card. I then play a single copy of Masquerade. Masquerade is insanely good in the deck because it has a really neat effect that when this card is fusion summoned is on your side of the field, your opponent must pay 600 life points to activate cards or effects, which is really, really good. Because with Chain Energy, your opponent will be paying 1100 life points per card they activate, which is really insane. Even with Flare Metal on the field, your opponent will still be paying 1100 life points to activate any card, which is absolutely crazy. I then play a single copy of Quieritis because we are playing some Despia cards in the deck, and this card can basically just drop all monsters on the field down to 0 except for level 8 or higher fusion monsters, which is a great combo piece in the deck. Play a single copy of Guardian Chimera because we can make it with branded in red. You don't have to play this card if you don't want to. It is a really expensive card. You can change it out for another card, but this card is really insane in the deck to be able to make in this build. I then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Flare Metal Dragon is my favorite XZ in the entire game. It cannot be destroyed by card effects, and while it has XZ material, and then when your opponent activates any card, they take 500 life points of damage. Basically, if your opponent breathes, they take 500 points of damage, which is absolutely insane. This card is super good, especially if you can get 2 of them on the field, but I've always wanted to build a deck that you can summon out Masquerade and Flare Metal in the same deck, and this is the perfect one to do it. I then play a single copy of Striker Dragon for the Black Metal combo that we talked about earlier, and a single copy of Hieratic Seal to make it with your copy of Darkness Metal and your copy of Black Metal Dragon. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is absolutely crazy. It's super fun to be able to play, and if you guys have never played Branded Red Eyes, I highly recommend giving this deck a try. It's super fun to be able to play, and I absolutely love this deck. It's really, really nostalgic to be able to build a deck around Red Eyes, my favorite of the 3 original monsters. So, anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.